Oh, yes. Here we are once again on the Daily Huddle. My name is Chase Steele Gray, and thank you so much for joining us. So happy you're here. Whoever brought you here, I'm sure cares a lot about you. Just to let you know a little bit about me, I am a New York City native, singer, actor, dancer, philanthropist, creator, influencer, overall curious soul. And I'm so happy to be here on the Daily Huddle because this is where we exchange information, we connect with like-minded people, we get insights, we definitely leave differently than we came in. That's the point that I want to make clear. So today we have a very special guest. Her name is Kybrina Buck, Kybrina Sky Buck, Golden. She has so many names, but she's amazing. I'll let her get into that. Today we are speaking about how can plant medicine support our wellness. And I'm sure I have just the person on here today to explain that to you. So please have an open mind, have a book and a pen ready. And Michelle, would you please read this beautiful bio, if you would, please?
Absolutely, I would be honored to. So, Kybrina Skybuck, also known as Gina Golden, is an herbalist and healer residing in Kumeyaay Land, also known as San Diego, California, where she was
Nice.
raised in the 70s and 80s as the daughter of a midwife. She grew up attending home births and witnessed her three younger siblings were born at home. This inspired her on her healer's path as a body worker and doula. Kybrina also learned to use plants for healing and ceremony and created a line of herbal products called Golden Goddess Botanicals.
Mhm.
These products are all organic and made in small artisanal batches using locally sourced ingredients from the highest quality farmers in California. Kybrina infuses her herbal creations according to the cycles of the moon and blesses every batch with love and healing intentions. She uses these herbal medicines in her bodywork practice and to facilitate plant medicine ceremonies in Southern California. Kybrina offers retreats and one-on-one sessions to support folks in using plant medicine to support their wellness, extend their consciousness, and tap into their connection with spirit.
Well done. Thank you so much, Michelle Cleveland. I appreciate you deeply. Please welcome to the Daily Huddle, Miss Kybrina Skylark. Yes. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, everybody.
Yeah. Good
So
morning.
it's so great to have you here. And before you begin, thank you so much for waking up at the crack to be on
Before
the
that,
huddle. It's not even sunny there yet. The sun's not even up. Thank you so much for being here. I think you know how much I appreciate your knowledge over the years. We speak about everything from art to music to plant-based things to veganism to we've spoken about it all. We have a really great connection, and I want to just start off by letting you know how much I appreciate you out in front of everyone. It's not a joke.
thank
Okay.
thank you.
So speak to us about the foundation of plant medicine and how it's good for our wellness, just on a basic level, so that someone who's just coming into the huddle today that doesn't know anything about the deeper parts of it, what does that mean? And give us that definition as succinctly as possible.
Yeah. So, we have this beautiful pharmacopoeia of plants available for us. And I kind of think of it, plants that we consume in three categories. So the first are culinary plants,
Let me get
which
my
can
pen.
also be very medicinal,
Mm-hmm.
especially aromatic herbs, which a lot of them have very healing properties that are antimicrobial, antiviral, antifungal, and then help stimulate and cleanse our bodies in different ways. Then we have herbs that we can take in the forms of like tinctures and teas and balms and things like that. And then we have entheogens, which is a very special category of plants which can expand our consciousness and alter our mind states.
The last word that you said, can you say that last one again?
The word is entheogens.
Entheogens. Okay, yes, I have heard that before.
Yes.
I don't know why that sounded
Yeah.
remotely foreign the first time. So in this realm of these, specifically in these three categories, do you feel that people have can't have a Zoom without one siren in New York? Can't do it. Do you feel that on the first level, people have access to the widest range of the culinary herbs? Can the layman person get these things that are very medicinal for them at their local supermarkets?
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't think about it. We think like, oh, basil, rosemary,
I know. Yeah.
parsley, dill,
Right.
like all of these herbs that we just put in to make our food taste better. But actually, all of those are working in very intricate ways to cleanse our system. So for me, I know even in New York, you can have a little windowsill garden with a few of those herbs.
I love
The
that.
more that, the more that we can just throw some fresh herbs on top of anything that we're eating, suddenly then our food becomes medicine.
Right, right. And I'm glad you talked about windowsill herbs because I've done that before. I think you remember, gosh, it's been a while now, but when I had my Brooklyn apartment, when you and I first became friends, I had that huge apartment. And
Yeah.
I did that on the windowsill. I did it with some garlic. I did it with sprouts. I did it with I even put, it's funny, I remember putting lemon seeds in the dirt and I remember them sprouting out into this beautiful plant. And I think people don't realize that right now, there's so many things that we can grow in our house. People don't even realize it, like just these little jars or whatever. And I want to ask you, when we talk about like, it's the perfect time of the year, especially in New York, for people to create things to keep their immune system stronger, right? People are sneezing and they're coughing and they're hacking. They're like, oh my God, it's going to get cold again. Yeah, we live in New York. Like, this is what we do. So rather than get hit with it, can you give us something that you would recommend as far as like the immune system and people getting colds and all the stuff? I think I know what you're going to say, but because I use some things that I think you're going to say, but at the same time, I want to know what you would say to someone that's like, it's the cold season. What can I do
Yeah.
plant-based wise to keep myself a little more safe from the elements?
Yeah. I would say there's two things that for me are like my first line of defense every winter. The first is something that my mom used to make for us all the time. And anytime I'm starting to get a cold, if I drink this, it's gone. And if I wait too long, then the cold might hit, but my recovery is going to be a lot faster. So this is like a hot honey lemonade with ginger.
Uh-huh.
So just like chop up a bunch of ginger, put it into a mason jar, put a metal spoon in there so that it doesn't crack when you pour hot water into it. Hot water, put a generous amount of honey. If you can get honey that's not, it's a raw honey, that's better. And squeeze a bunch of lemons into it and pepper, if you can handle that. That's gonna wipe out any cold, break up mucus. It's just gonna get you going again. The other recipe that I love it's called cider.
That's it.
Super easy to make. Yeah, you can buy it, but it's super easy to make. Usually I would start making it now or a little earlier, so at the end of the summer, so it's ready, but you can make it quickly. Apple cider vinegar, you throw in onions, ginger, fresh chilies. What else is in there? You can put a lot of different things. There's tons of
A lot of
recipes.
things, yeah.
But you just soak it, and then that vinegar becomes this incredible tonic. And it's kind of sharp if you try to drink it on its own, but you can turmeric's another great ingredient. You can also add that to the honey lemonade. All of those things are available at any good grocery store. So
Right.
that I like to use it also as like a salad dressing. Just add a little bit of olive oil. Oh yes, horseradish is another ingredient.
That's the one. That's the one that kicks you right there, the horseradish.
And
Yeah.
it just brings heat into your body. So
Correct.
it kind of connects to the quote that I read earlier, just about the energy of the sun and how that's stored in plants. And each plant kind of takes that energy of the sun and takes its own twist on it, right? It's all working with the same elements, the water, the minerals in the soil and the air, but each plant has like its little signature vibration
Right.
that when we take it into our bodies, our body has a response. And that's not a coincidence, right? Because we have evolved with plants over, millions of years, right? Our bodies have evolved with plants. And so we have these kind of sacred relationships with plants where our bodies recognize them. And I'm sure you have that feeling with certain plants where when you take them into your body, you get what I call a full body yes. Like your
Mm,
body just says, ooh,
full body
yes, this feels
yes.
really good.
I like that.
So I really love to listen to that when working with plants because not every plant and not every herb is for every body. Some plants our bodies really respond to better than others.
Correct. The
Hmm.
full body yes. As soon as
Hmm.
you said the full body yes, I thought of two things. You're gonna laugh when I tell you this, or maybe you're
Okay.
not gonna laugh. I thought of bok choy and fennel. Whenever
Beautiful.
those things enter my body, which is quite frequently, I have them a lot. I'm like, every time it's just so good,
Mm.
And I made a soup a few days ago that had celery, onion, garlic, bok choy. I didn't use fennel that time. I put some noodles in it. I put a vegetable-based soup base, and I feel like I'm missing something else. Sweet potato. It was
Hmm.
so good. Like
Yeah.
these are the kind of things I'm talking about. And if anyone on this Zoom right now just goes and researches plant-based medicinal vegetables or plant-based, it's unbelievable what you find. The other question that I have for you is, I think you and I are the same in this way. Actual plants, like actual plants in the home that create
Mm.
wellness around you. I always think about the bedroom because in the bedroom, we're there consistently so much time. Do you have presently plants in your bedroom or in around? Because I remember you like plants just like me.
Yeah, I do. And I also have like a really big garden where I've plant growing a lot of herbs that
Oh
I
my gosh,
use.
I can only
Yeah.
imagine what that looks like at your house. Wow.
Um, but one of the things that I really recommend also is just for wellness is herbs in the air. Either burning herbs or using a diffuser with some essential oils. It literally cleans the air.
Right.
And so, certain things like lavender or eucalyptus, that it's gonna just like kill viruses, and it keeps working even after, long after you've burned or diffused those herbs.
I just muted for a second. There's a plane going above me.
Mm.
Yes, and I use those as well. I have a few diffusers. I use two of them, one on either side of the bed. And I don't know if we ever talked about doTERRA, but I love their Breathe, doTERRA Breathe. I use
That's
it
a nice one.
before I sing, and I put on my fingers, and I kind of
Mm.
breathe that in. It's really, really good. Also, sometimes I mix sweet almond oil as a carrier with eucalyptus, and I put
Mhm.
it somewhere around my ears or my chest. All these little things that happen. Now, as we're talking about plant-based medicine, um, what would be your recommendation as it relates to plant-based medicine through foods? Like something that you feel would be something good for some people to make. I don't know if you have any specific recipes or something that one of your go-tos for food that's like immediately medicinal because of what it has already. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that we haven't touched on is just this idea of like toxins in our environment and
Mm,
how our bodies are dealing with in that way. And so
right.
I think any plants that are really cleansing can be great. One that I really love is actually a seaweed called kombu. Um,
Oh, from
and
kombucha. Yes.
kombu, you can like add it to like the soup that you were describing, or if you're cooking beans or any broths or anything like that. And it helps to draw heavy metals and toxins out of the body. So seaweeds are a really great resource. Um, and then I'm just like, especially during the winter, a fan of soups like you were describing. I just
Right.
made board
Right.
borscht last night, and borscht I love because beets are just so rich.
Beets. That's
Yeah.
my thing. Yes. Beets
Yeah.
are my favorite. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And fennel is great in that too. So any kind of broth, if you eat meat, you can use a bone broth like a chicken broth, or you can do a vegetable broth and add the kombu.
Right.
Um, I also like to put powdered mushrooms, like lion's
Powdered
mane,
mushrooms.
shiitake.
Huh.
It adds this umami, and you don't even know that they're there, but like they're totally working on your body. So lion's mane,
Right,
reishi,
right. Oh, I love
uh,
those. Yes,
yeah, and you can get
definitely.
those powdered. They're not actually that expensive.
Yeah.
People take them as a supplement, but they taste really great in your food. And then that
Hmm.
just makes anything that you're eating medicinal.
I didn't think about powdered mushrooms. That's so crazy. I always just take
Yeah,
them and cut them up and do different creative things with them. But powdered mushroom, wow. Boom.
yeah,
Like, wow, that just changed my whole thing. I have to find some of that today.
yeah.
So the other thing is that, it's funny that we're in this time. I think it happened during COVID, where a lot of the meat suppliers could not get to their destinations. They were halted. People were like, oh, let me try this. Oh, let me try this. What is your take? No criticism either way. What is your take on this kind of, um, what's the word I'm looking for? This kind of like the most conversation I've ever heard about plant-based meats, Beyond Meat, Impossible Meat. Are
Mm.
you for it? Are you not for it? Do you think that it's good, but it's still not good in some ways because of the things that they have to do to create it? What is your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, I tend to lean toward the most unprocessed whole foods as possible.
Right.
I think some people who were raised eating a lot of meat, when they become vegetarian or vegan, they really miss it, and so they want that.
Yeah.
It's not always the best food for us, but I don't think it's terrible.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere now. And I will tell you that I've eaten a Beyond Burger many times. It tastes so good. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
But I grew up
Mhm.
eating meat, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm not eating meat, but I grew up eating meat. So my mind remembers tasting that. And then the Beyond Meat obviously allows me to have the meat without the meat. However, there are some other things in that are now like it's always one thing for the other. It's not like, so what's the lesser of the two evils? That's what I'm thinking about. When I speak to people about that, they say, you want a burger? Have a burger, Chase. What are you doing? Why not just have the burger? And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I don't want to have the burger. I want something that substitutes for the burger that tastes
Mhm.
like it, but doesn't bring me the rage from the animal, the chemicals, the whatever the case may be. So that's a conversation. I just want to know how you felt about that.
Yeah, I would go back to the full body yes. It's like it sounds like for you putting that and having that sensation of how it feels to bite into a burger is a full body yes for you. And then I would just pay attention to, and then how do you feel later in the
Right.
day?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to make sure that if there are any questions, they can be asked right now. If anyone has any questions, I'm looking right here, seeing who we have here, and no, I don't see anyone with their hand up about anything. But you are more than welcome right now to chime in or raise your hand if you'd like to ask Kai a question. Anyone? Ba 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 da.
Yeah, so good
I
morning.
knew it.
Hi.
Good morning. So my father was a general practitioner, and when my grandmother had an accident and cut off the tip of her pinky, he prescribed soaking in chamomile 3 times a day as
Wow.
an antibacterial,
Oh,
Mhm.
and upset tummies, chamomile tea,
yes.
Mhm.
because it's got antibacterial medicinal properties.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's only been a few generations. I mean, and it sounds like even though your dad was a general practitioner, he still was carrying some plant medicine, and just all pharmaceutical medicines are based on plants initially, right?
Hmm.
Aspirin is this white willow bark, right? And so we
Hmm.
can go first to the plant. It's a more gentle approach and generally has less side effects than going straight to the pharmaceutical answer. So it can be beautiful just to develop a relationship with different plants and realize like, oh, when I start to feel this, if I take this, I'll feel better, or whatever it is, and just
Mhm.
start to build a small little pharmacopoeia of your own of plants that you can go to for those needs.
So, is there something in particular you would recommend? For example, my mother's diabetic for her
Mhm.
neuropathy and for the swelling in her legs.
Yeah,
Sometimes she gets fluid buildup in her ankles and feet and lower legs. Is there
yeah.
something you would recommend for those things?
Well, yes, there's a few things. One, which we were sort of started to talk about, Chase was talking about rubbing oils on his body. So I'm
Right.
really a big fan of herbal body oiling. You can use essential oils. Better yet, you can also use the whole plant infused into oils, and then just massaging that into those extremities and getting circulation. Our lymphatic system doesn't have a pump on it. So basically, the only ways to get the fluid moving is through exercise, massage. What's the third one? There's a third one. I'm not, yeah, just sweating. And so if you or somebody in her home could just rub some herbal oils into her legs. I know like ginger is very good for circulation. Anything that's kind of mentholated, you can get uh, different essential oils and just drop a few drops into the oil. Um, but I know that's can be really hard. And also just to elevate when you do that so that it kind of gets above the heart.
Yeah, she elevates her legs a few times a day.
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent answer.
Okay,
So good.
thank you.
So good.
Yeah.
Hi. I just wanted to
So
add that the trampoline is good for the
The
lymphatic
trampoline.
system.
Yes.
Jumping on
I
the
love that.
trampoline is good for clearing the lymph nodes and good for the
oh
lymphatic system.
yes, that's a good
Absolutely.
one.
Absolutely. Trampoline. I love that. I've
Mhm.
been on a trampoline a long time. I love trampolines. Um, so, you know, there's certain people that I asked to come back another time because we have a topic that's very, very deep and far reaching, and you are now in that club. So,
Thank you. Yeah, we didn't really talk about entheogens, but that's
no.
really one of my areas of expertise. So
Mhm.
I
if
would love to
anybody,
hear like a quick synopsis on because
Yes.
I have it written down here to look up. I actually was just on your site too. Can you like give us like
yeah.
the next couple of minutes of what that is? I'd
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, so well, one of the plant master plants that I've worked with a lot is cannabis, and I know you guys in New York have just legalized there, so that's going to be around a lot, and you're going to be seeing it. And I just wanted to talk about the fact that we have a really ancient relationship with cannabis. So my brand, Golden Goddess Botanicals, that's kind of the one of the main plants that I use. And it can be used in so many ways and also used in very subtle ways. A lot of people have negative feelings about cannabis because maybe they've kind of overdosed on it. They ate a brownie at a party that was way too strong and they just decided like cannabis is not for me. But cannabis, it can be used. That's one thing also that I would recommend if your mother, Michelle, is interested or willing, massaging it into your skin. It's not psychoactive in that way, so you don't feel high, but it's an incredible mover of water through the body. Um, and it's cannabis is the oldest archaeologically found plant matter that has been found. We from 4000 BCE, there were remnants of cannabis found with humans, and our bodies are really built to work with them. They actually plug into neurotransmitters in our brain. So we have evolved with the plant. So
Amazing.
it can be used subtly and it's very medicinal, incredibly medicinal.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm glad that
One
we
of my favorite,
go ahead.
go ahead. One of my favorite ways to use it is to infuse it into honey and just to use it like a little teaspoon of that in
Right,
each
right.
morning and just kind of gets you relaxed and ready for the day.
Right.
Yeah, and I've only had COVID once, knock on wood, and I think one of the reasons is because I use it daily in very small doses.
It's funny that you brought that up because I think that was the first product that I tried of yours. I
Yeah.
remember getting the jar from you, and I remember taking it, and I was like, wow, this feels good. You know, as a singer, I'm always worried about my respiratory and my throat. And I remember having it, and it was really good. So I want people to make sure they go to your website. If you could just say that out loud, even though it's in the information, I want people to know how to get in touch with you.
It's just goldengoddessbotanicals.com.
Mm-hmm.
And on there are all CBD versions of my products because that's all I can sell online. If you're interested in something else, reach out, we can talk. But the CBD is a whole CBD. It's very different from CBD that you can usually get, which is made from distillates, which are lab created, which are stripping the plant of all of its medicinal qualities, and just isolating the CBD molecule. So I work with CBD farmers in Northern California who are award-winning farmers, and my stuff is really special, if I do say so myself.
Because you're special. You got to connect with the special. I get it. I get that. So I am going to have you back maybe in about 3 weeks or a month, just so we can go further into this topic. I want to give you breathing room and us breathing room as we have other topics that flow through on this day. But we're going to come back to it for sure. I want to thank you for being here. I think you are a plethora of information and light and warmth. So I appreciate you so much. And as we always do, we leave the huddle with our tenets that we like to infuse into your brain before we leave. The first is please live out loud, live stronger than you have in the past. Please love more than you have yesterday or the day before, right? Give of your time and your energy and your resources. So many people need different things and you have them right in front of you. Giving is such a powerful flow, right? Also, move your body. We spoke about moving. We spoke about the lymphatic system. There's so many powerful, good things that come out of moving more, including having a better looking body for yourself first, right? And then, of course, eating mostly plant-based. That's one of our tenets. We talk about it every day. If you can give it a shot to eat mostly plant-based, why not? Why not give your body the gift of more circulation, more mobility, more everything, because it just doesn't have to worry about digesting anymore. You're eating plant-based things. They're just flowing into your system. How awesome is that, right? Also, we want to remind you that sleeping is so important. 5, 6, 7 hours. If you can get 8 or 9, sleep like a baby, as they would say. Create that into your day. No disrespect to all the amazing mothers that have 2, 3, 4 kids, a husband, a side hustle, and a house to keep. I totally understand that, right? Give it a shot. It'll do you no harm. Of course, please stress less. It is so important for you and the people around you. Take a breather, meditate, journal, read a book, just walk out into the air as I do every day in this incredible city as the leaves are just dropping down off the trees so beautifully. And lastly, please check yourself before you wreck yourself. Completely just take a breath and go, do I want to be here right now in this stressful moment that is killing me? I do not. Breathe into it. Let it go. It's not that serious, right? I love you guys so much. Thank you, Kybrina, for being here. It's a pleasure, as I knew it would be. I will bring you back. Everyone else, please move into your day with love and intention. You are unique, and the world needs what you have. So let it go. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Chase.
Be well.
Thank you.